awake for the first time in millennia. His decomposed mockery of a nose was assaulted by the accumulation of dust and rot which dominated his resting place. Through his ears, and into the husk that was his brain, came the pitter-patter of feet. Driven by an inexorable need deep within him, he tensed his tendons and ligaments, stiff from so long without use, and alighted from his resting place. The adventurer he came face to face with let out a terrified scream so high-pitched that the Draugr would have winced if he still had the cheek muscles to do so. The confrontation was over in a matter of seconds. The adventurer's trembling hands had scarcely taken his sword from his scabbard before he was cut down. Feeling somewhat let down by his first contact with another being in a very long time, the Draugr's attention was grasped by the shiny blade of the former adventurer. Evidently, he had spent more time trying to look the part than practicing with the damn thing, as the blade was shiny enough for the Draugr to see his reflection, even in the gloom of the cave. He looked majestic, a little worse for wear, yes, but his armour and stature was fitting of one who had been one of the most capable of the dragon's servants while alive. The dragons. A flood of memories and emotions came rushing back to him, unbidden. He had been a proud Nord once. Driven by the trappings of power, he had enslaved his fellows so that he could be free, acting as a powerful warrior, mage and enforcer for his dragon overlords. Towards the end though, his conscience gnawed at him horribly, and he had tried to make amends. He had attempted to stir up insurrection among the dragon's servants, but he had been discovered. Owing to his prodigious abilities with both blade and spell, it had taken 2 dragons at once to bring him down. The other shambling humanoid wrecks he came across in the subsequent weeks in his cave were, as far as he could work out, former servants of the dragons as well. Their armour and weapons certainly dated back to the ancient times. They were different from him though. They seemed to have retained little of their memories or cognitive function, short of guarding the crypt they now called home. This convinced him that he alone retained full knowledge of what he had done, the atrocities he had committed in the name of the dragons before his eyes had opened up to their evil. He knew the seeming anomaly had occurred for a reason. He had been brought back to finish what he had started. He knew, with his grim visage and guttural growls, he would forever be ostracised from the world of the living. But, as he was soon to discover, the world of the living was about to need him more than ever. The stat spread for this build will be 60% health, 20% magicka, and 20% stamina. The gear this build will be using will be the Ancient Nord armour, boots, gauntlet, and helmet, along with the Nordic shield, and Gulda's Blackblade, which you can obtain from completing the Forbidden Legend quest. This is in conjunction with the Draugr Weaponry Replacer mod, which makes the Ancient Nord weapons look much better. On top of this, to play as a Draugr you will need the Playable Draugr for SSE mod. The skills you will need for this build are one-handed, block, smithing, heavy armour and destruction. In terms of the destruction spells you should be using, you will mainly be using Ice Storm. Ice Spike is technically more faithful to the Draugr's arsenal of spells, but it's a bit useless in my opinion. The 2 shouts you shall predominantly be using are Unrelenting Force and Frost Breath. In terms of RP, you should probably avoid showing your face in any towns or holds as much as possible, as guards and civilians alike would be deeply unsettled with your grim appearance until you've earned their trust anyway. Try and wear some sort of mask or hood which does not reveal your undead status. Although the Nord tongue has changed somewhat, it will be possible to converse with others in Skyrim after a little bit of practice. That's it for this build. I do really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you again soon with another video.